we're shocked by how Duterte administration aggressively went for what they call soft landing, and at some point you had the president essentially shooting us in our own foot. How was that to you, considering how all of these years you're building up this arbitration, and the victory comes just a month or so into President Duterte's term in office?
Yes, it was really the worst of times during the
Yeah,
Duterte, because here we're fighting China, defending the West Philippine Sea, and Duterte was defending China,
lawyering for them.
lawyering for China. He was the agent of China. Early in his administration, he made a verbal order to the Navy: patrol only the territorial sea. Do not go beyond the territorial sea. That was publicized. And I asked the Navy, are you going to follow? We will ask him to put it in writing. If he doesn't put it in writing, we will continue to
Right.
patrol. And he never put it in writing, but he at the behest of China, he said, patrol only the territorial sea. That means
Essentially, yeah.
give the West Philippine Sea, our exclusive economic zone, to China. But the Constitution says the state shall protect its marine wealth in its exclusive economic
Right.
zone and reserve the wealth there exclusively for the benefit of Filipinos. Yet he said patrol only the territorial sea. And later on, he said, I allowed China to fish in the in our exclusive economic zone. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah, yeah.
He really violated the Constitution.
And you had exchanges with the president back then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how did it go? You said you
Well,
had.
every time he does that, I would write, I would issue a statement saying,
Yeah.
you cannot do that. That's against the Constitution. You're the commander-in-chief. And he even said that, well, the Chinese are there in the sprat list because if somebody tries to oust me, they will protect me. Imagine that the the commander-in-chief of armed forces, he's saying that the Chinese army will protect me against my own armed forces.
Yeah.
Terrible. That is really terrible.
And I don't know. The good news, I could say, is at least you had adults in the room, in the sense that there was Secretary Lorenzana. I would say Secretary Locsin, for all of his,
Yes.
let's say, rambunctious tweets. There were many times there was, I would say, constructive intervention by the adults in the room. Because, I mean, I tend to separate Duterte and his statements and then what the DFA was doing in a lot of times, what the DND was doing a lot of times. How did you understand that? Was that like the Philippine state fighting for its own survival? I mean,
Yes, I mean, we have to thank our career officials
right,
in the DFA for holding the fort, no? And
Yeah.
Lorenzana also
right.
for stopping Duterte from terminating the VFA, because after terminating the VFA, he would terminate the Mutual Defense Treaty, because that's really the
The
objective
next
of
step,
China.
yeah.
Yeah, you know,
It was
Duterte
that bad, yeah. Just to remind people, yeah.
yeah. So here was your president who was doing the the wishes of China. You know, you have a president who told his people, "I love Xi Jinping. I simply love Xi Jinping." It's China, Russia, and the Philippines against the rest of the world. And remember, when he went to Beijing in a state dinner, he said, I am eternally indebted to China. Can you imagine that? And China is seizing our island territories, maritime zones, and he would say, I love Xi Jinping, I am eternally indebted to China. It was really the worst of times for us.